Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
Well, it doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon. Tariffs imposed by the U.S. on targeted imported goods having a significant impact on the consumer. Not just the current list of goods, what's coming next? That has experts concerned. Tariffs on $300 billion worth of Chinese goods represent nearly 70% of total imports of consumer products, 66% of autos. How are investors and manufacturers affected in a trade war in which retaliatory tariffs are imposed on American goods? We're pleased to welcome back Jason Lux to the Sunday Business Page. He's owner and retirement advisor for the Synergy Group. Jason, welcome to you.
Thank you, sir.
These tariffs are already having an impact, right? Things
They
like
are.
refrigerators going up in price. What else?
Right. I think the first round was mostly on capital goods. So we're looking at machines, buildings. The next wave that could go in effect as early as later in June, we're looking at now consumer goods that possibly will get hit. And now you're talking about shoes and apparel and the things, electronics, all the way across the board.
I've seen numbers that it could affect an average household by hundreds of dollars every year, maybe more.
I think a lot more. It could
A lot
be.
more than that?
Yeah, I think. And right now, there's a lot of posturing going on to see where that will go. But if the other 2/3 of Chinese imports that are not opposed or affected by the tariffs yet, if that goes into effect, we're looking at big numbers for the American households.
What's the end game? I mean, is it worth it?
Well, I mean, all in all, I understand there is an imbalance. We understand there's an imbalance of trade. I think that these tariffs are really a lose-lose situation. There's an effect. The Chinese economy is going, or the U.S. economy is going to be affected, and these economies together are so large that the global economy is going to be dragged down as well. I don't really see a win on either side if an agreement's not come to fruition here.
Market doesn't like it.
No, it doesn't like it at all. I mean, you're looking at the numbers just kind of passed through May. We're seeing across the board the major indices dropping, and that's with optimism that it will get resolved. If it doesn't get resolved, then there's bigger trouble.
And what does it mean for business and then jobs in this country, which are very strong right now?
Right, jobs are very strong, but it can certainly have an effect on that. Companies are going to look at their margins. They're going to say we're not making enough money because of the tariffs, so they will have to make cuts. Some of it will be price increase, but some of it will probably be loss of jobs in certain sectors as well.
Does it affect the way that you advise your clients and their portfolios?
Well, I think now, being that I'm a retirement expert, focusing on becoming more conservative and protective with their portfolios, now's a great time to look at it, not after things happen. I want to plan in calm waters, is what I'm saying.
So, so the tariff issue is not an impact on how you advise your clients?
It doesn't. We think long term. So we do understand what's going on. We maybe need to reposition, but our clients are already positioned for any financial storm. It's those that aren't working with us that I might be more concerned about.
Are you fearing a slowdown in the economy over this?
Yeah, and we're seeing it. And I think the impact here, I don't think it'll be as big as maybe it's portrayed to be, but there will certainly be an impact on the economy, which is already slowing as we speak.
Fear, though, does have an impact.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing now. The current impact is mostly fear-driven. It will be fundamental-driven if we continue to have tariffs pushed.
So is the U.S. Just posturing here to get a better deal, or?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. But from the rhetoric coming out of the Chinese government, it doesn't look like they're going to back down either. So I think the next big event here is the G20 summit that'll be later into June, where they'll get back together and hopefully a deal can be hashed out at that meeting.
And if it's not?
If it's not, then we're talking about more and more volatility in our markets. And we're going to talk about higher prices. And some of the things that we just discussed there, we will start to feel in our pocketbooks.
How?
Well, I mean, I think the things that we buy on a regular basis, there's some areas that are affected more than others, but I think across the board, we're going to see price increases. These companies can't eat these increased tariffs across, in all areas. Prices will go up, and it's going to be more money.
Cars?
Cars will be affected. About 40% of the automobile industry is based on Chinese imports, so cars will be affected.
40%?
40%. But then you take a company like Walmart, only 10%, low single digits even, of their goods are imported from China. So it's going to be different depending on where we shop.
Don't the Chinese buy a lot of American cars? I hear Buicks are very popular in China.
Yeah, it's going to have an effect both sides. And that's why I said it's lose-lose. So it's going to hurt the Chinese economy probably even worse than it hurts us.
Will they stop buying Buicks? And then will GM lay off people?
I think in the short term they won't, but the longer and longer that continues without an agreement that's reached, then I think we'll see more change of habit.
How much more will a car cost me?
Boy, that's a fairly loaded question, but I think we could see cars go up by 5 to 10%, very simply and quickly.
And they're expensive enough
They're
already.
already expensive. A couple more thousand per vehicle, that's going to add up.
Yeah, and then so people will stop buying.
They will.
Right? They'll hang on to their car.
Right, and consumer spending is the big driver of our economy, and that's where that snowball effect eventually hits the growth, and then we'll come into the markets where I deal.
Negotiation, you say, is the best way. Are you confident with this administration that they can get a deal?
I think I'm confident that they can get a deal, but it's going to have to change off the current stance. I think that right now it's in the stages of those hardball stages, and there's some arguments and going back and forth. My confidence level is a little bit lower than it was maybe a few months ago, but I'm still confident that a deal can go through and probably will.
I expect we haven't heard the end of this, Jason. Come back and see us again sometime.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jason Lux. When the Sunday Business Page continues, a preview of next weekend's Pride Fest, a status report, also on the LGBT community in Pittsburgh. The Delta Foundation's Gary Van Horn and Chris Bryan will join us. Stay with us.
The Sunday Business Page will be back in just a moment.